So before we begin, we want to do a little experiment. If you could all imagine a CEO. Is it a man? Because it was for us, and that's why we made the campaign called Imagine, a campaign to challenge biases. But before we get too much into it, a formal introduction. I'm Marie, and we're from CBB, London. We're also from Denmark, the country, so that's the accent if you're wondering. So this was the brief we got for International Women's Day. How do we rebrand gender diversity? And we thought, that's so easy. No, we didn't. We thought, why is gender diversity still a problem? It makes no sense to us. We're in the 2022, not that that means anything anymore, but we were like, why do we hold on to these gender stereotypes? But then it dawned upon us. It didn't. We did a lot of research. Unconscious biases, all the stuff that that's carried with us from the environment we grew up in. And the biggest problem with them of all is that we don't know we have them. So we're like, okay, how can we get rid of them then? I don't want them. And we found out that the only way we can get rid of them is by facing them. But that's a little hard when they are unconscious or invisible, if you may. So that's why.
We made this campaign to make our unconscious biases visible, putting out there. And we're not doing it to point any fingers, but only to confront all our own biases, because we all have them. And we created this series of posters simply asking people to imagine. And I'm sure you can see this very big screen as well as I can, but I'm going to read it out loud. So imagine a CEO. Is it a man? Imagine a feminist. Is it a woman? Imagine someone crying in the office. Is it a woman? Imagine someone leaving early to pick up their kids. Is it a woman? Imagine a nurse. Is it a woman? Imagine someone in a board meeting. Is it a man? And we didn't stop here because...
Oh, and then it says in the bottom, now imagine a world where gender makes no difference. Hashtag break the bias. That was the hashtag.
And then we thought, we cannot stop here. We have to do something so we don't pass it on to the next generations. Other people have passed it on to us, and we have to do something. So we created a coloring book for kids and their parents, where we now simply ask the kids to draw what they imagine when they see certain headlines. So here they have to draw a president or a secretary, a doctor or a nurse, or a firefighter. And of course, there's no right or wrong drawings here. It's only a good conversation starter for parents and their kids to talk about all these biases that we carry around and that we have to break down. And going through all this, we actually think that it's probably the parents who will benefit more from this book than the kids, because we are the one who actually have the biases.
And we heard the books are going to be around on the table, so if you want to try it out with your kids or just draw a little bit, then they will be out. So that was the campaign, and something we really liked was that people started making their own versions from their line of work or confronting their biases. Also some confronting some of the biases that we hadn't seen because they're unconscious. So that was something we really enjoyed seeing. Also some people didn't like it, like this guy. But we hope you liked hearing about it.
Yes, and just before we take off, we have 3 takeaways that we personally will take along on our journey. First one is keep questioning our own biases. Make them visible, even though it can be really uncomfortable realizing that we have all these biases. And then question our biases again, because these fuckers stick.
Thank you.
Thank you.